What's up, guys? It has been several days since I did last live arena video, and it has been because I have been kind of busy with other videos and other stuff. I will definitely do more of them this week, but I think I had like 4 or 5 day break from doing live arena, and I might be a little bit rusty today. We shall see. I also don't have any new builds that I'm trying today because I kind of want to see what happens first, and then on next video maybe I'll try something different. Though one thing that we do have that I didn't have last time is that I got a split soul on Quintus, and he got extra 500 attack, which is very interesting. Of course there is a lot of other stuff to talk about, like the updates and so on. There's actually quite a bit of interesting items to discuss. Many people were asking if I'm gonna make a reaction video. About the new champions, specifically the Banner Lord, Faction Lord, or whatever it's called. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about that. It was basically another massive buff to Taras and Marichka. I'm assuming that the other factions are gonna have insanely strong faction lords as well, but it is kind of almost comedic from Plarium that they are so tone deaf that the first one they do is for Banner Lords, which would need a massive nerf instead of a buff. But I'm not too worried about that because I'm used to this kind of BS from Plarium anyway. So let's see what the other stuff is, because the other stuff might be even more OP, and I don't want to really speculate just yet. Let's go with Necret, because if the Lazarus gets kills, it's very threatening, so maybe it's better to do that. But yeah, of course I'm not happy that Taras and Marichka get another massive buff, but I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't really expecting Plarium to try to fix the game or anything, so... Okay, he has a lot of scary nukers. Damn, this is a very scary team. Maybe I'll go for Helicat and ban the Mesomel. I learned my lesson from a week ago that I can face it with Helicat. And by the way, there's another thing that I'm kind of curious what people in the comments think about. In my Discord, I guess people are mostly agreeing with me, but I'm kind of curious if there is a bit of mixed bag. But in the content creator chat, I don't know why, maybe you guys are seeing something that I don't see, but in the content creator chat, instead of talking about actual issues in the game, like Banner Lords getting another buff and so on, content creators are trying to get Fatalis buffed, which to me seems very ludicrous, because he's literally the second best HP scaling champion, but people are disappointed that he doesn't have like insane damage, which he doesn't. I mean, compared to other HP nukers in this game, he has good damage. He has better damage than basically everything except maybe Mountain King and maybe Magnar if you only count his one nuke, but you can't really compare it to Magnar. Basically it's the second best HP nuker though, and the third one isn't even close. Like, the third best HP nuker in Raid would either be Mountain King or Arix, both of which are way worse than Fatalis. But a bunch of CCs are really hard pushing to get Fatalis buffed, and I'm not really worried about it in that sense that I think Plarium would buff him because they asked them to. Even if he did need a buff, they wouldn't do it, but they definitely won't do it because he's like he's one of the best champions in the game, literally. He's not broken like Taras or Rotos or Harima or Georgid and so on, but he's literally one of the best nukers in the game, or let's say nuke champions, because he has a lot of other effects that he doesn't take damage, and he reduces enemy attack, and he ignores enemy buffs and so on. But I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that. Am I wrong, or like what am I missing here? Why are they trying to get Fatalis buffed instead of like trying to fix some other issues in the game? I was just in Genbachi Twitch channel before this, and Genbachi was talking about the fact that, okay, I guess we won that fight even though it was, the team looked very scary, and honestly, I was kind of distracted ranting here. But on Genbachi's channel, he was talking about the fact that resistance is massively underpowered in the game, which I totally agree, and I think that is one of the big design flaws for PvP. Basically, the way resistance works, and I have made a video specifically about this and I have explained it many times, but in the calculation of resistance versus accuracy, accuracy has inherent 42 advantage. So let's say that you have 442 resistance and the enemy has 400 accuracy. It is 50-50 chance whichever wins the dice roll. But not only that, but if we quickly look how much resistance you get from masteries, it's basically 10 from Defiant and 50 from Unshakable, but therefore accuracy, you also get those same things, and then you get 20 from Charge Focus, and then you get 16 from Swarm Smitter, so you have 76 advantage on accuracy versus resistance. I think that is one of the design flaws that Plarium should think about, and not about buffing Fatalis, which is one of the best champions in the game anyway. Wait. Yeah, there he is. Okay, let's quickly look at the Fatalis kit. By the way, the Fatalis multipliers are almost the same as Arix, slightly better, but Arix is fairly popular in Live Arena actually. If you have seen my videos, you will definitely see me sometimes facing Arix. And yeah, his multipliers are similar, slightly better, and he has ignore defense and other mechanics. Of course, the thing that Arix does is that he has A1 that is AoE hit, and that means that he can sometimes be good against lockout teams. But Arix, even though he isn't the hardest hitting nuker in the game, he has a role even in high level Live Arena, and it's not to kill teams with like Sifi and Marichka, it is to kill squeezy enemy teams. And that is definitely what Fatalis can do as well. But I guess people want him to nuke as hard as Taras or Georgit or Rotos and so on. But let's quickly look at the kit. So the A1 has average multiplier, I think it was 0.22, let me double check it actually. But it ignores 15% of defense, which is very good for A1, and has 20% chance of extra turn. These are incredible effects for A1, and the multiplier is 0.22, which is very standard. Most HP scaling nukers have multipliers like that, or even worse, and of course with the ignore defense, the multiplier is actually way better than that. But even for A1, it is one of the best A1s for HP nukers. Of course Taras is better, but Taras is broken. Then A2, attacks one enemy, will ignore strengthen, stone skin, increase defense, and ally protection. Also he ignores 15% of target's defense, if attack is critical. So it basically ignores all of the defensive buffs, and decreases the target's attack by 10%, up to 30%. So if you have a tanky team, and of course Fatalis is insanely tanky with his passive, if you can do this couple times on the enemy nuker, that means that they automatically lose the fight and they can never kill you. It's insanely strong, like, skill. Sure, it has 0.3 multiplier with 15% ignore defense. For instance, Taras A2 has 0.7 multiplier. But most other HP nukers, their multipliers are around 0.18 to 0.25. So it is way better than average. Like, it is literally one of the best even nuke skills for HP scaling champions, and this is more of a utility skill rather than just a pure nuke skill. Then if we take a look at his A3, attacks all enemies, ignores 15% of target's defense, decreases the target's defense by 5%, stacks up to 30%, so another permanent reduction. And this skill has multiplier of 0.26, again, which is kind of normal, slightly above average for HP scaling nuker. But it has multiple strong effects. It ignores defense and decreases their defense permanently. So like I mentioned before, if you use him in a long fight against squishy team, you have a very tanky team against a squishy speed team. This is an insanely good champion, but people want to use it to nuke through Taras and Mariska and Siphi. Then the passive, which is the... Wait, this is not the... Yeah, okay, he has two passives, never mind. This is the secret skill. Attacks one enemy, will ignore 50% of target's defense, fills this champion's turn meter by 50% if the attack is critical. Damage inflicted by this skill cannot be decreased basically by anything, and it also isn't increased by anything. This is something that Karato has, and I guess a couple other champions have. But basically it's meant to be a counter against champions with strong passive skills. And it's a secret skill that you can only unlock after you use 3 of his skills. And yeah, it has a multiplier of 0.36 and 50% ignore defense, so it is a very strong nuke skill, but of course, again, it's not something like Charge It, but he's an insanely tanky HP scaling nuker. And then if we look at his passive, places a shield buff on this champion equal to 25% of their max HP for 2 turns at the end of their turn. This champion cannot receive critical hits under a shield buff placed by this champion. This is an incredibly good skill. You can obviously use this to be very tanky. You will not be critical hit at all. I think people are looking at him the wrong way, that it's not like you're gonna... You don't like... You wouldn't use him against the most tankiest teams possible with Taras and Mariska. You would use him against speed teams, and he would be very good there. He's literally the second best HP nuker in the game, and I don't know what the content creators are smoking, that they think the biggest issue in the game right now is that Fatalis is not good enough. If I'm completely wrong, then tell me in comments, roast me, tell me why I'm wrong. I think I'm dead right, and I think they are dead wrong, but go ahead and tell me why I'm wrong in the comments. You don't need to tell me why I'm right, because I think I'm right, but tell me why I'm wrong. Anyway, let's get into the actual fights and see what happens. I kind of wanted to vent about that, because I think that is so ridiculous, and no wonder we can't get the game fixed if people are focusing on completely like wrong issues. Should I go with you, Dick? I guess I'll go for it. And just as a comparison, when we were talking about these multipliers, Arix is basically the second best HP scaling nuker in the game for PvP, and his multipliers are 0.22 and 0.35, so basically the same as Fatalis, except of course that Fatalis has ignore defense on every skill, and also he has a skill that permanently reduces defense of everybody, so... Anyway, what are we gonna do here? Am I gonna use... Xena against her? The issue is that with both Arbiter and Siphi, she can just do the Siphi turn meter boost. Let's just go with Necret, and maybe I could even go with Mortu, or we will see what we do. Maybe Mortu or Helicat. I don't think Mountain King is gonna be great here, because he has 2 revivers, and Mountain King is gonna have trouble finishing off this fight. I'm sure if he has a squishy Arbiter, which he might not, but if he has one, Fatalis could like kill the Arbiter with the AoE nuke, but Mountain King doesn't have one, so... And my Arix isn't geared right now. I'm really hoping to get one more piece of stone skin on her, so that I could run her in 4-piece stone skin. But for now I don't have it, and I actually didn't pull the 2 days Hydra loot yet because I'm gonna make another video about it. Okay, Joffred and damn, why I can't remember this champion's name right now. Anyway, we're gonna ban Yumeko, I think it's gonna be fine. Why can't I remember his name when he's so... Leorios, yeah. When he's so old champion, and I have talked about him many times. I would put Fatalis on the same tier as Leorios. Like A tier champions. It's not S tier, but it's definitely on the same level as something like Leorios. Not something that I pray to pull from Void Shards, but most of the Void pulls would be worse than Leorios, so you can't be too sad about getting him. Yeah, I think we got this fight in the bag. Helicat can of course be countered very easily, but he doesn't have anything like that. I kind of saved it for the last, and I think it's very safe fight for us at this point. The 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece Lethal is still insanely strong build, so I think we're good. I mean, my last video was about that and it went very well, so I guess maybe we can do well today, even though I'm a bit rusty and I didn't play live arena for like 4 or 5 days. I should probably... I think I make the mistake too often to early pick Helicat just because I want to save a support pick for last, but I really should stop doing it and leave it for the late picks, because if we can get situation like this, it's basically a checkmate. There's no way that I can lose this fight at this point. He can't kill me, and my Helicat is definitely gonna kill him, so... And even though Helicat is kind of used a little bit, but it's not that popular champion, so often people are not familiar with the matchup or are not expecting somebody to last pick Helicat unless they know me specifically. And by the way, about the Fatalis thing, if you think I'm like totally wrong, you're not gonna offend me. Just tell me in the comments why I'm totally wrong about it, and we can debate it. But I'm kind of I completely don't understand why they feel it's appropriate to buff Fatalis, and it's kind of a little bit like irritating me. So that's why I totally don't even understand or see any opposing why it would make sense to buff him. I mean, if they buff him a little bit, it's not gonna ruin the game, but there's like 99% of the champions in the game need buff more than Fatalis. So I think it's just people did the event and they wanted to get buffed because they want a new OP top tier champion like Taras. That's the way I feel about it, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys know something that I don't understand. I didn't mention any names because I'm sure some of the content creators are gonna get mad if I disagree with them, but I think they are just completely dead wrong on this topic, so... I'm not gonna go for the event. I'm saving if there's like... If there is an event for the new Taras counter nuker, whatever his name was, King Narses, maybe that was his name. I'm saving my charge for that, and I'm praying, and I have maybe they will do an event for it. Probably not, but I don't have a lot of resources anyway, so probably I couldn't even do the Fatalis event if I wanted to, but I'd rather save something that is completely gonna change my game if I'm gonna do it. And it's not gonna be Fatalis, but if Fatalis was on the normal void pool, and let's say that I pulled him, I definitely would use him a lot, of course. Probably I would go with 4-piece stone skin on him as well, just so that he can't be countered by those Ronda teams, and then you would use him a lot against speed teams. If Ronda can't one-shot him by disabling the passive before the first turn, and you can kill Ronda first, then it's gonna put them at a massive disadvantage and it's hard to make a comeback. And in the future, now that all of the blessings give all of the same stats, you could even put a lot of... I was talking about it today with somebody in DMs, that I think people will put a lot nukers in polymorph now, because it kind of wasn't as good option before, but now you're gonna get all of the stats, and the effects on the blessings for nukers are like okay, but not that game breaking. Except like bone armor, but it's only for like tanky nukers and not for some very squishy nukers. Damn, but what are we gonna do? He has the Harima in the team too, so we can't really easily go with Mortu, unless I'm gonna ban the Harima, but I might even consider doing that at the end. Maybe we will go with Tormin or Helicat, probably one of those. If he picks a very squishy team, I might go with Helicat and Wukong. Okay, it's a bit weird team. Grixia and Elva, probably the last one is maybe Georgid or Ronda. I think I'm gonna go for the Grixia ban, to be honest, but yeah, let's go for Grixia ban and go with Helicat. That makes sense. Maybe Wukong. I could almost consider going with Arbiter too, but let's try with Wukong. Yeah. I think he's probably gonna ban either Necret or Helicat, but Lazarius is kind of hard as well, especially with the Wukong pick. He's probably gonna ban Necret now, I think, or Rotos. Well, he's gonna get me... Wait, can he do it on the first turn? Does he need to change form to get the lockout? I'm not sure if he can get the lockout with the... Or never mind, he can just... No? Kind of uncharted territory. I haven't met this exact team before, so I'm kind of confused what he's gonna do. Okay, so now if he kills the Wukong, he's gonna lock my team out. He does have one piece of reaction. Okay, nice. He got polymorph, that works out as well. He's pretty high points too. I don't know if it's just me not being as active in live arena as I should, or what, but his team isn't the most scariest ones. There's no George, there's no Taras or Maritzka, so it could be worse than this, even though it does look a little bit scary. He's not even using Sifi, but Elva instead, which is kind of unexpected. What? Arima resisted. I have to double check my Wukong build. I think my Wukong should have like 780 accuracy or something. I wonder how many actual fights we are gonna get today on the video, because I took so much time to rant and rave about the Fatalis. Like I mentioned, I think there's less than a 0% chance that Fatalis is gonna get buffed, even if CCs cry about it. I think it's more likely, I don't think they're gonna do anything about him, but if they're gonna do something about him, I think it's gonna be nerf rather than buff. But I don't know, that just somehow triggered me a little bit, because I don't understand why they think that is appropriate in the game. Or even, not even appropriate, but like realistic, because Clarion clearly doesn't, game balance isn't their main priority. And like I mentioned, Fatalis is well above average champion in the game. Like, you could, like I mentioned, I would put him in A tier. He's not even like B tier champion, he's A tier champion for PvP. Or live arena specifically. I probably wouldn't use him in classic arena, but in live arena. But I think the game design is wrong if there is champions that you can literally blind pick against everything, like let's say Taras. Champions should be so that they're good against some stuff and horrible against some stuff. They shouldn't be universally OP against everything in the game, like Taras is. And we can't get proper game balance if there is champions like that. And that's the way I feel about Fatalis, is that he has incredibly strong utility. He shouldn't hit hard. Taras shouldn't hit hard either. Neither of those two champions should hit hard, because they have insane damage reduction and other utility. Like, Taras CCs the enemy team and permanently reduces their attack. He fears the entire team before nobody takes a turn in the fight. Takes 50% less damage and reduces their attack, and stuns them and counterattacks them like every time Mariska gets hit. He shouldn't do high damage, and it's kind of the same with Fatalis. If he reduces their stats and he ignores all buffs and he's basically unkillable, he shouldn't do very high damage. I don't know why that would even be controversial at all. Of course, it's not like, I mean, there's other champions like, say, Rotos, that also does high damage and is tanky, but you get my point. And to be fair, Rotos has been nerfed 4 times, so they at least acknowledge that Rotos was or is a problem. But then again, we were also talking about it, that now when we got the blessing update, and all of the blessings are gonna give the same stats, it's another indirect Rotos buff, because he's gonna benefit both from attack and HP, even you could say from accuracy, but it's not really, because of polymorph, it's more often actually gonna be negative than positive, though the enemy teams are also gonna get resistance, so it's basically not gonna do anything. But often when we have these updates to the game, they often then tend out to be indirect Rotos buffs, like how it was originally when blessings were introduced as well, because the way bone armor works with Rotos is that he can't be one shot, not even by double hit, because the bone armor passive is kind of counted afterwards, and because he can only take 50% of damage per one hit, and then if enemy does like a double hit, which both should do 50% of his HP, but then after that it gets reduced by the bone armor damage reduction, it actually isn't 50%, and that's why Leorios can't one-shot full HP Rotos with bone armor. Which of course I like as a Rotos main, but it was an incredibly powerful buff for Rotos. Though with the Harima and UDK in the game, I don't feel it's that game breaking because there is plenty of Rotos counters anyway. We're kind of having trouble killing the Elva, but outside of that, it's going well for us, but I think if this fight lasts too long, the Harima is eventually gonna destroy us, so probably I should try to polymorph the Elva, even though I can weak it on her and try to get rid of her. If Elva dies, I definitely win, but if this fight lasts for 30 minutes, I think eventually the Harima is gonna kill me. I mean, I can get the Harima polymorphed and so on, so there is some problems for him as well. But now, for instance, if the Lazarus locks out my entire team, I'm gonna be in trouble. Well, let's hope I don't get weak hits. Okay, nice. I'm still locked out, so I couldn't really do anything. Okay, weak hit, not exactly what I wanted to see. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose this fight. Chu Chen is just too strong. He's out-rotating me so hard. Even though he doesn't really have a consistent defense buff on the Harima, but even still. And Helicat can't crit on Harima, so I can't really easily kill the Harima. And as you can see, I got... The whale ran out just in time and I got locked out again. I am using so many demon spawn champions that, and Harima also counters Rotos, that it always gives me massive trouble meeting her. Okay, let's see, maybe we can get the polymorph up now. Come on, no weak hit. Okay, great. And now her HP is gonna be reduced by 50%. Of course, yeah, we're gonna get locked out, and Helicat is already locked out with the lock cooldown skill. Okay, never mind, he didn't go for the Wukong kill, and he didn't have enough damage to actually kill my Duchess. Maybe if we can get the block damage now up with the whale, maybe we can finish it off. Or is my Duchess gonna die? Yeah, the Elva affinity was actually a huge issue for me here. Okay, we lost it. Yeah, it was kind of close, but I couldn't finish it off. And I really wouldn't have had any other good champion against that team, so I was kind of forced to go with Helicat. I was expecting him to likely ban the Necret, but I think if I went with something like Quintus instead of Helicat, he probably would have banned the Necret. Also, I haven't been using Mikage that much. I feel like it's kind of missed opportunity, but every time they have some fast champion in the team, who I assume is faster than my Mikage, and I end up not really using her. Like in that fight, the Xenogenesis was faster, and she even opened with the extra turn on Elva, so I couldn't really have used Mikage well in that fight, and often they will have something else that is fast as well. Let's see what's going on in the Reddit complaining about Fatalis. That would be kind of funny, but I'm expecting that they're talking about some PvE related things rather than PvP. Okay, this kind of looks like it's gonna be another fight where we end up going with Helicat. Maybe I could try something different here. Maybe if I went with Helicat, Wukong, and then one CC champion. Like Taras or Mikage, without any reviver, is my point. Or then I go with Arbiter and Helicat. No, I don't want to go with Arbiter and Helicat because he could still go with Tormin or something. Yeah, let's just go with Necret, Wukong, and Helicat most likely. Okay, we are talking about the collaboration, but are we gonna talk about Fatalis? My biggest problem with the collaboration is just how lazy it is. It is wild to me that there is such a cool collaboration event and there's almost nothing new in the game to celebrate it. I kind of agree. I feel like they could do way more with these kind of crossover events. Okay, let's continue. There's new loading screen, some events and packs had a name change, but it's really all they could manage. There's a few new champions, but my excitement for them was ruined by all the FOMO bait and greed at full display. Well, that is what you should expect. We have the same events, same fusion system, no skins. I feel like Plarium could do way more skins. I don't know why they're not doing that. I guess they haven't been selling well, but I'm kind of surprised. It's Monster Hunter event. The game is about killing bosses and crafting gear and weapons. Wait. We couldn't have a reskin of the dungeon bosses yet. That sounds kind of nice idea as well. Even though it wouldn't actually change anything, but it would add kind of nice flavor to new events that we have in the game. I guess these kind of crossover events are not gonna happen too often either, but I'm sure they have some kind of like they have the actual deal with them and they probably can't do whatever they want, so there must be some very large limitations or like only specific things that they're allowed to do. Let's give it to UDK because, oh, he got feared. UDK passive will proc, and then that will proc the Necret passive and reduce our cooldowns. How about an event where we hunt monsters? Pass from the bosses and we craft skin or something. A path event where we choose one of the Monster Hunter weapons and upgrade with the dungeon bosses. upgrade it with dungeon boss skills and we get champion or skin depending on what we choose. Yeah, I mean, I agree they could have done something to make the event feel more special, but on the grand scheme of things I don't really care about it that much. It is kind of cool that they were able to get events with Monster Hunter and Xena and Ninja and so on. They have definitely gone out of their way to get some big brands to participate, but yeah, it feels like they should pay them a little bit more and do a little bit more grand events with all of those different franchises. I mean, I'm a PvP guy. I want new stuff for PvP, new PvP mode, game balance, so on. Those events are cool, but they are not the biggest deal for me in the game. Okay, I think we're gonna have a hard fight, but he doesn't have Siphi, and the Justice is not gonna revive the marriage guy at full turn meter, so I think this is actually a winnable matchup. One thing that I kind of would want to see, of course, is more clan related content. Something like clan PvP, like actual CVC, not Hydra CVC or like Whale Wars, but some kind of PvP content with other clans. And I wouldn't even mind if it was something that you can make alliances with other clans and all of the other top clans can raid, can make an alliance together against Mad. I would be totally fine with that, but it would definitely be cool to have more clan events and like clan PvP specifically. People were kind of asking that for a long time, and when they announced CVC, that is what most people were expecting to get. But now we have had two different forms of CVC, and neither one is that, so I feel like there is still some room to make it much better. And even if it isn't like PvP, but I feel like there should be more clan content in the game, and it is kind of unused potential. Because like right now, of course, you want to join a clan that does clan boss and does as much damage on Hydra as you do, but outside of that there isn't really many mechanics that is forcing you to coordinate with your clanmates or talk with them and so on. And it doesn't really, of course it's a mobile game, so I shouldn't really compare it to MMOs, but you are not really as close knit with your clan than you are in, let's say, MMO games. Of course, unless you are in like a very try-hard clan, but you know what I mean. I think Carol is actually pretty good Nuker, but our team is just tanky for this, and he doesn't have like hard CC or not like rotating us with a fast Tiffy or anything like that, so the Carol didn't seem that scary, but he's actually pretty good in my opinion. Probably I would put it in A tier as well, maybe like low A tier, let's say. Okay, so we're 3 wins, 1 loss, and that 1 loss, maybe I should have picked a different team. I'm not sure. I kind of thought I could win it, but I didn't have anywhere close enough damage to actually kill the Elva, so it wasn't really that close in the end. But I was kind of blabbering and complaining about the Fatalis drama, so maybe I was distracted and could have done it better. Level 97. What kind of crazy champions is he gonna pull on us? By the way, on positive note, I do actually like the blessing update a lot, that all of them are giving the same stats, because that means that we have a lot of more room for strategy now, and you can, for instance, like I mentioned before, go with polymorph on nukers, or you can pick whoever with whatever blessing. That will add a lot more strategy and player agency, and I always like that kind of stuff because theory crafting for PvP is my favorite part in the game. It seems kind of boring, but we're definitely gonna go with the same old Duchess UDK Rotos, because he went with the Nuke Wukong and Siphi, and there's no way we're gonna pick anything else. And even though the Bannerlord, Faction Lord or whatever it's called, even though that champion seems like insane, even regardless if Taras and Maritzka were in the same faction, but it's like a very horrible joke that it's in the same faction as them. But I'm expecting that all of those faction lords are gonna be super OP and game breaking, so hopefully, probably, we will have something even more insane in some other factions, and maybe they can make some faction like Orgrun that is never used. Maybe they can even make those viable. We will see. And I'm also very curious about how you actually get the shards for these new champions, because they specifically mentioned that it's from different shards and not the existing ones. Are we actually gonna go with Xena on this one? I feel like we might. I mean, if he picks Lockout and he doesn't use Siphi Thermometer boost, we might be in trouble, but let's go with Xena. Is he gonna ban Necret? I'm assuming he's gonna ban Necret. Okay, Rotos. Undead is pretty good faction too, so, or even Demon Spawn and so on, so there is definitely room for some factions that are okay or pretty good, but completely underwhelmed by Bannerlords. It is definitely plausible that some of those could be comparable or even better than Bannerlords. Probably not, but it's totally plausible. I'm kind of hoping that maybe I will pull a Siphi and Faction Lord for Undead, and it will be something good against Taras and Maritzka. Siphi and Rotos is kind of good combination against them if UDK and Harima are not in the play, because Rotos can only take 50% of his HP from Taras A2, and he's also not gonna get stunned because of Siphi. And Rotos can of course kill them even through the Taras attack reduction, so it is not a horrible matchup. I wonder if I can kill them with A2, but I think... No, I think we're gonna go open with the A3. Okay, we got double kill, we got the cooldown reset on that skill, and next turn we will probably end the fight. Unless he resurrects Wukong now, and he would be able to polymorph Xena, but we still have the whale up, so I think we're good. And she has the lightning cage, so she might not even get her attack buff stripped by the Wukong A3. Oh yeah, and it's a nuke build, so even my UDK was able to resist this Wukong. Nice. Okay, we don't have attack buff anymore. Maybe we can't actually fully finish him just yet. Okay, nice. So far, so good. I'm getting extra powers from my angry rants, and it's going pretty well. I don't know if something changed. Is it just because I had a lot of good gear to dust and I got massive buffs to, let's say, my judges and a few others? Maybe it is because of that, but after the dust update it feels like I'm doing way better in live arena, even though I didn't pull any new champions or anything like that. I feel like if I just get, like, let's say Harima and Sifi, I would destroy live arena so hard. I feel like I probably wouldn't lose any fights today, or at least the fights that I had, or like even the last time or the one before it. I'm pretty sure I could get like videos where I don't lose a single fight if I got those two champions in the current setup that we have in the game. And even just with Harima, I feel like there will be so much potential if I can get him, so I still have a lot of hope that I can do a lot better than I'm doing right now. But with the dust, I'm actually doing way better than I used to. The Chaos Dust was like a treasure trove for all of the old accounts, because they went from very good gear to like ridiculously good gear. And some of those newer accounts, even if they are like massive mega whales and they have all of the champions in the game, but for instance, if they didn't play the game for as long and they don't have, let's say, Cruel 2B set bonus, or they don't have as much reaction or stone skin, they're actually gonna, it's gonna even it out for the older accounts a little bit, because having all of that gear is actually very big advantage. Do I want to go with Necret just yet? No, I'm gonna go with the same team every time, I feel like. Python and Mikage. Well, we're definitely not gonna use Helicat in this fight, but who are we even gonna use? Should I actually go with Mountain King? I feel like that might actually be the way to go here. He does have the Wukong as well, though. He only has one reviver, and Mountain King definitely can one-shot the Python given the chance, so... And if I went with any of the other nukers, they would get destroyed by Taras and Wukong, so I felt like this made sense. I don't get to pick Mountain King that often, because often they have double reviver, or let's say like Maritska and Sifi, but in this kind of situation he does make sense. Or the speed teams might have Arbiter and Sifi, but in the times that I use Mountain King. It is usually against the speed teams that don't have double reviver. Not that often I do it against tanky teams like this, but maybe it will work. The Python does look... he broke through the Stone Skin. I think he buff stripped the Stone Skin from Mountain King. The Python looks very tanky, but I think my Mountain King can still one-shot it if he gets a turn. Maybe, at least with Helm Smasher proc. He should. Okay, nice. Judges is kind of in a trouble though, so I need to start... Heads need to start roll or I'm gonna lose the fight in a few seconds. Okay, I think we're gonna go for kill on the Wukong, just to get the extra damage and speed from the buses, and maybe I'll actually go for A2 on the Python. I'm pretty sure Mountain King is gonna one-shot him, but just to make 100% sure that we're gonna kill him. Yeah, he did like 168k. That was probably with Helm Smasher, but I'm not 100% sure. If anything, instead of giving a buff for Fatalis, they should give Mountain King buff because he's almost okay, but he's actually never used. Only people mad enough to use Mountain King in live arena is like me, or people in very low tiers. But even if he got like minor buff, let's say that his A3, which is it's a lot less than the A2 that I just used. If they made that skill AoE nuke instead of single target, I think that would be enough to make Mountain King more viable. He still wouldn't be top tier or broken, but he would have more situational use because he could be a little bit more threatening. Okay, I guess we did lose the fight in the end. It was kind of close, but he doesn't have the crazy passives of Taras or Fatalis, so Taras still easily one-shot him even though he has crazy max HP. I think Mountain King, let me double check. I think Mountain King has like... Maybe I'm confusing. I was gonna say 38k max HP, but that can't be true. Maybe it's 28k. 31k. And what does Skull-Lord have? 27k. Pretty sure Mountain King has the highest base HP though. Yeah, 38k sounded way too high. That's why I stopped myself from saying it. I don't think Mountain King having AoE nuke would have made the difference in that fight, but at least it wouldn't be game breaking if he actually got the buff. I mean, even if he did get the buff like that, I probably wouldn't still use him all that much, but he could definitely get the buff though without ruining the game. Oh, +4 city. Also, I don't know what's up with that, but people are not giving me much options to go with Thornin lately. I don't know if they just are more aware of the Tormin strategy, but I'm not really getting any fights where I could actually pick him. I mean, I could kind of do it here, but he does have the Necret, so I kind of would have to... Should I do it? Nah. I could almost do it here. Well, he has to go for Nuker. He can't pick like Lockout or something. Let's try it. I think if I went for Helicat in this fight, he would of course ban the Rotos. And I don't think I could kill this team with Helicat alone, it's too tanky. Well, he still banned Rotos, but at least now we might be able to CC his team, assuming that we can survive for a little bit. But we're definitely gonna run into trouble here as well if we have actually enough damage to kill him or not. Okay, that was kind of unlucky start. Nobody got frozen from the Maritzka boss. Okay, I guess that was an instant loss. And that was the damage from the tankiest champion in the game, who CCs your entire team on the first turn and reduces your attack permanently every time you attack him, and counterattacks you every time you hit the best survivor in the game. With the skill that has highest HP scaling multiplier in the game and stuns you and has no cooldown. If I go for Necret and Rotos here, he's definitely gonna pick UDK, but if I don't, he might go for UDK and Rotos. Maybe if he doesn't have like Taras or Georgid, maybe we will go with Necret, with Quintus or Xena in this one. Oh, by the way, speaking of those two new Knight Revenant champions, the one of them being the Fusion, let me look up their names, I can't recall it. It was White King and Queen, but I don't recall their actual names. They are very interesting. I really hope that I will get the King, of course, but we still don't know the multiplier, so it might be a massive dud as well. It certainly isn't gonna have same multipliers as Taras, and probably more something like what Fatalis has. So HP scaling Nugers just generally have very low multipliers in raid, and I think for a reason. It kind of makes sense that HP scaling Nuger shouldn't be having massive damage, because they often have a lot utility, except if you are Mountain King, and they are inherently very tanky. Yeah, White King Narses and it's loading. White Queen Ankora. I really think that the Ankora is gonna be used in live arena, even if you don't have the king. So that kind of seems interesting. Should I open with the A2? I'm gonna get block pass now. Let's open with the A3. But of course I really want to get the king as well, and that could be a lot of fun in live arena, even though he probably doesn't have as high damage multipliers as people are kind of expecting him to have. As I mentioned, if we are making bets here, I'm gonna expect that he pretty much has the same multipliers as Fatalis, maybe even probably slightly higher because Fatalis is more tanky, but I'm not expecting for him to have a lot higher multipliers than that. Something between 2.05 and 2.03. 2.05 and 2.3 is what I'm expecting. Not like 0. What am I saying? 0.25 or 0.3. I'm not expecting it to be 0.7 like on Taras, or what Taras has with the A3, which is just bonkers. I guess you can't really call that HP multiplier though, and it's more like buff multiplier, which is fairly unique to him specifically. I'm talking so much that my voice is dying. I have the same issue with Xena every time, that unless you can end the fight in couple turns, which it doesn't look like we're gonna do this time, the longer the fight lasts, the more impossible it will actually become to win, and then it's gonna end up that she's gonna even if you can revive her, she's gonna instantly die and she's not gonna have any impact on the fight anymore. I think it's kind of over at this point. He's running a pretty tanky Siphi, and with the Harima passive we didn't have enough damage to instantly take care of him. We stole a lot turn meter, but I think... Oh, nice. Okay, I was gonna say that Harima is gonna kill her before she gets a turn, but actually Necret got in. Can we do this? I do have Xena in pretty good gear. She's kind of fast with decent damage, but she's also missing the blessing, so she could be way better with 2-star or 4-star blessing. Okay, right now she doesn't have attack buff. We definitely can't kill Siphi, but I hope we can kill the other two. Oh, we could kill Siphi. I guess I kind of underestimated the extra damage that she gets every time she uses her A2 or A3. That speed debuff is kind of giving us hard time though. I think we still might have actually lost it. I always forget this champion's name, but usually people change on her second form on the first turn of the fight, but on the first form she has the skill that she puts the revive on the entire team, and then you have a chance, I think it was 30% chance maybe, to get petrified if you attack champions under revive on death. And that's sadly what happened to our Xena, that kind of lost us the fight, I think. Yeah, we still, the petrification is preventing us from placing buffs on her. We can't get the whale up, and I think it's game over now. I don't think it's a nuke built on Wukong, but he might even be able to kill the Xena. Oh, he got polymorphed, nice. Maybe if we can get the whale up now, maybe we can still do it. Oh, we can get petrified again. I hope Duchess goes before Xena, because if she doesn't, we're screwed. Okay, let's kill her and let's hope that we don't get petrified. I'm not 100% sure if you can get petrified from hitting her. It might have only been the allies. I need to double check it after this fight. I do kind of feel like, considering that I don't even have 2-star or 4-star blessing, and Xena isn't empowered, I think if I had empowered Xena with blessing, this fight would have been super easy, and even the good accounts could consider using Xena. She definitely feels like very overlooked champion. Because I'm not using her even close to her full potential, but she's still performing very well for me. Not quite the same as Rotos, but in the right matchup she's very good. I don't think we can kill the Siphi without attack buff, but let's see. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, that was a very hard fight, and I thought I was kind of gonna lose it, but Xena did definitely pull it off in the end, even with the 1-star blessing. I don't think they ever did an event for Xena blessing, because I'm sure I would have gone for it if they did. Has 30% chance of placing petrification debuff on attacker for 1 turn whenever an ally is attacked while under revive on death buff placed by this champion. Okay, I'm pretty sure that actually does apply to her as well. I'm not pulling for those just yet because I wanted to make a video about it. People pretty often ask what I think about the Hydra loot and items in general, and it's kind of hard topic to make a video about because items are so massive one, but I thought I could make several smaller videos about it. But since I didn't do live arena at all for several days, I wanted to make that video today, and I'll probably make a video about the stone skin tomorrow. By the way, I did make a video about items at tier list, though it's a while ago, but I'm pretty sure that video should still be relevant. I don't think anything changed in that time. It is like from last summer though, so it's a while ago. Okay, this team looks very scary. But he has to pick one more champion, so we could go for Helicat and ban the Mikage. Maybe I'll go for Wukong and Helicat. Yeah. Wukong is pretty good matchup against those Necret teams because you can completely bypass his protection and get rid of all of those buffs. That is kind of issue for me because Wukong is very popular pick by my enemies and most of my defensive options do bad against it, like both Helicat and Necret have a terrible matchup with him. I really need to kind of try to explore my speed options more. The issue just is that I don't have fast gear in the first place and I don't have champions like Siphi or Shu Chen or Lockout and so on. But it's not like you can't do it with something like Mikage, but when I have been using Mikage I haven't found the right way to use her. Usually the enemy team has like a Siphi anyway, who is faster than my Mikage. If he didn't have that Harima passive, we could easily one-shot the Siphi, but I don't think we can do it right now, so I think we're gonna open with the A2 actually. I mean, we definitely can do it, to be clear. But with all of the upgrades from Dust, my Rotos does hit insanely hard, even without being fully empowered, so he would definitely have one-shotted that Siphi. It would, even without Helm Smasher proc, it wouldn't even have been close. Oh. Garrel does that, I didn't even recall that he had a passive like that. Does he have... yeah, Siphi has polymorph, so I think we're just gonna go for A3 even though... no, let's just A1 somebody else. I'll save the A3 for later, but I don't want to risk getting polymorphed by Siphi. I guess we're just gonna A1 on the Siphi. The A3 would have done pretty much the same damage, but it's better to save it for when we can actually get a kill or when Harima is dead. Maybe we can get a kill now, but we do have the decrease attack. I don't know if I want to risk it. Let's just go for A3 on Garrel, which should be a kill, and then go for A2 on Siphi. Yeah, probably that was the smart choice. But if we had enough damage to kill the Siphi with 8-3, then that would have been a mistake. But looks like we did it. Helicat is just too good. Wait, isn't this the same guy that we fought a bit earlier on the video? I think he pretty much used the same team as well, and we used Xena against this guy. Probably we're gonna go with the same stuff, kind of depends what he picks, but probably we're gonna go with the exact same thing, I feel like. He's opening with the same stuff and he's 97. He didn't have the most insane roster, so I don't think he has too many other teams than exactly what he used last time. Okay, Arbiter, I think he already has 2 nukers. Yeah, we're just gonna go with the exact same stuff. Damn. Pulling Grixia would be so nice. That's like, it's only one pull, there's not that many primals, so it's not impossible to get Grixia at all. And if you get that one pull, it could be pretty large icon changer, so I have my hopes on that. I really wish that I did get one primal champion already, but it was with the remnant summons and not with the primal shards. I really hope that my first champion from primal shard is gonna be Grixia. She also, of course she's good in speed teams, but she doesn't require any specific champions to be on your account to be usable, so I could definitely use her. I don't need to have like Maritska or Siphi or something, so... Okay, he knew what was gonna happen, so fair enough. I don't know, I feel like we're doing well today, but I probably could have done even better, so probably we could have won a couple of fights if I picked slightly different teams. Normally I'm sad that I'm not doing good, but today I'm kind of I'm doing fairly good, but I think we could do even better than this. Like for instance that last team, we can definitely meet way harder teams than that one, so it doesn't really count for a proper win. Okay, this guy knows what to do against me. He went with Lockout and UDK first, and I'm sure Harima is gonna come after that. Maybe I'll go with this. I mean, he could go for Rotos and Harima himself too, or even just Rotos without Harima, but let's see what happens. Okay, so he did go for both of them, exactly how I predicted. And the last champion is definitely gonna be Siphi, without question. So I guess we're gonna go for Xena, and we're gonna fall short of one good nuker, because if I go with Xena and Quintus, he's almost certainly gonna ban Xena, so... But I think that's kind of what I have to go for. I can't use Helicat against this team. Last champion is gonna be Siphi, and we ban the Warlord. Pretty sure he's gonna ban my Xena, but he could go for Necret or Judges as well. But I did go for two nukers that are not hard countered by the UDK, so we have a little bit of chance, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be good enough. Okay, so he didn't go for... he thinked about it very long time. He was probably gonna go with Siphi, but he changed it to Arbiter because he saw that I went with Xena, which kind of makes sense. And of course he knew that I couldn't ban the Rotos because of him having lockout. It wasn't really an option. I could have almost considered it, but nah. Which one should I even open with? I'm not sure if it really matters, but let's open with the A2. Damn, if I go for A2 right now, I guess I have to do it. I think he's gonna kill my Necret, but maybe he can survive with the reaction proc. Maybe that was the only chance that I got. If he doesn't get crit now, I might win. Okay, good. Who do I want to kill? Arbiter is still gonna go before my my Xena, but I think we're gonna go for the Rotos kill actually. Like oh nice. He can revive it. Actually, I'm not gonna finish off the Rotos now. I guess we're gonna hit the Arbiter too. Nice. That was refresh accessory proc, but Arbiter would have revived Rotos, but it wouldn't have been higher than 50%. I'm pretty sure my Xena would have still gone before Harima, so I would have been good. Oh, can we stun the Harima now when UDK is still polymorph? Nice. I wasn't really expecting to win this fight, so maybe this can be counted as a proper win actually. I don't know if I would have won without the refresh proc on Necret, but I think probably I actually would have, so it might have caused me to win the fight, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to getting 4-star blessing on Xena and event 2. Like, think about it, I could very easily get 25% crit damage and 500 attack on her, even in like couple days, and that would make a huge difference in the fights. That wouldn't be like a small thing. Oh, it's this guy again. I kind of feel bad about it, not gonna lie. Okay, he kind of made a smart choice. I guess he's trying to finesse me. Should we go for the Arbiter this time? Now let's open with the UDK and Rotos. Let's not try to be too smart because that can backfire on me. I might go for Arbiter after he picks now, but I didn't want to first pick her. He might not have all of the top champions in the game, but he definitely has UDK and probably Rotos as well. Maybe if we go with these and then go for Helicat, that could be an option, and go without Necret on this fight. Or then I go with Necret without Wukong. I could even go with Xena here though. Actually, let's go with Xena and Necret instead of Wukong. Yeah, that sounds kind of fun team. Duchess is also gonna proc the Xena passive, so it's not like she has terrible matchup against her. And we might like go before the Duchess first because of Arbiter boost, and then also get boost from the Duchess buff, so that might actually work out well for us. I don't know how Ramantu is gonna shuffle the deck, but we will see. Okay, never mind, maybe it's actually gonna be terrible for me. So he went for the Arbiter ban, we're not gonna go first, and Ramantu might actually probably be faster than his Duchess, which means that we're not gonna get the turn meter boost from the passive, unless we're protected by Lightning Gauge or Polymorph or something. I think we're gonna open with A2, maybe on Duchess. Might be smart to just go for A1 as well though. Should I go for A1? No, let's go for A2. If I got the extra turn on A1, then I'm pretty sure I would have won the fight if that happened, but I went with the safer option. I don't really want to go for the A3, but no, let's go for the A2. Yeah, that was without attack buff, so we weren't gonna do that much damage. I wasn't expecting to. But yeah, we're gonna cut in now. As we only stole a little bit of turn meter, and not from everybody, but it was good enough with the turn meter boost from the passive to do it. Maybe we can kill Ragas at least now. I mean, we should kill 2, right? No. I think, did Ragas proc reaction? Probably, must have. Okay, but we did get it. I feel like surely I kind of have to outgear this guy pretty hard. Considering he's like level 97, and if the levels went past 100, I'm sure I would be like level 400 or something. Like, I don't even recall when I got to level 100. So in the beginning of the game, the max level was 60, and then they later made it to 100. But when I got to 100, it must have been years ago. I have no idea even how many years ago it was. Maybe like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. But it's super long time ago. Damn, what? This guy is only 4,000 points and he's opening with +4 Siphi and +4 Harima. What's going on? Imagine now after update we're gonna see +4 Harimas with bone armor. Like I mentioned earlier on the video, I think many nookers might consider going for polymorph now after the update, which you can totally do with Harima. But one of the main issues with Harima is that even though her passive is insanely good and her damage is pretty good as well, but she does have really low base HP, and those really hard hitting nookers like Taras that don't rely on ignore defense, they can just brute force her potentially through everything. But if you also add bone armor to her, that would make it pretty much impossible to do. So I think it may be that a lot of people with 6-star blessing will go with bone armor on Harima actually. And she will of course get a huge damage increase because right now there is no nuke mastery for defense scaling nukers. Okay, let's think about what we're actually gonna do. I think this is definitely Helicat fight. He still has one support pick left, but who's the last one? I guess Wukong. I could have gone with Necret, but let's go with Wukong. Wukong and Necret are both gonna add survivability to us on their own way in this fight. Wukong might not give us direct shields and damage mitigation and so on, but he can buff strip and block buff debuff the enemy team, which is gonna reduce the Taras damage a lot. Now, Marichka can of course cleanse it and so on, but it might buy us some time at the start of the fight. Or I could go for A2 on Harima, since he didn't ban Rotos, which I was kind of expecting for him to do. And that means that Rotos would be able to do proper damage. But I think we're gonna open with A3. I'm not sure who is gonna go first, Marichka or Taras, but I'm hoping his Taras is actually faster than the Marichka. I hope both of his nookers are faster than the Marichka. Okay, nice. That actually played out very well for us. The Helicat was in immunity, so it's not like he could have countered the Helicat, or I mean in Stone Skin. But yeah, I think we might be good, even though this is a very strong and scary teams, but we actually might have drafted the right solution against this. Yeah, now we're gonna go for Harim. No, I think Harima is still gonna get her turn before Rotos, sadly. I didn't want to do it last time because... What? I think I mentioned it earlier in the video that I had to double check if my Wukong is actually in polymorph. I think my Wukong has been incredibly unlucky today because twice the nookers resisted his polymorph. Let me just double check that he actually is in the support build, but if he is, then I'm very unlucky. Should I? No, let's just do A1 for now. Okay, so he is actually in the right build, so he has 765 accuracy, plus the 70, plus the 36 that you get from masteries that is not counted in that. So definitely the Harima doesn't have like 840 resistance. I just need to somehow get rid of that Harima, but if she keeps resisting my 800 accuracy Wukong, then probably we're still gonna lose the fight. Okay, let's not A2 on Harima then, let's just A2 on the higher HP champions. And then later, hopefully I can polymorph her and get rid of her that way. I don't know if I want to do this. I think she might be able to cleanse, but let's do it. The Maritzka, I guess, was a little bit on the slower side, so we probably out-rotate her. Okay, I think that actually played out perfectly. I think she can't do it, she wasn't able to do it this turn, and Siphi probably can do turn meter boost and defense buff this turn, but isn't able to do it because of the box buff step off. And that kind of bought us one turn time, and probably Taras also has the AoE nuke right now, but he's not gonna use it. Damn, can Rotos survive? Oh, so close. Nice. Okay, I guess it's the do or die situation. I think it's possible to one-shot the... Wait. Might be actually just be able to kill the Maritzka. Okay, Maritzka is dead. And then A2 on Siphi, and if she dies, we win. Please. Not even that close. Harima passive is too good. Okay, yeah, I guess we're gonna go for polymorph on the Siphi then. And now he didn't get buffs, and the Taras AoE nuke gets delayed by another turn. I don't know if my Helicat can... Can he? Maybe my Helicat actually can kill the Siphi. He does have a lot of polymorph, but I think at this point we're just gonna gamble and see if we get some fears. Okay, only Taras got feared, and I think he doesn't even have polymorph. You do get some resistance out of polymorph, so that kind of makes sense. So close. I don't know who is gonna go first, his Siphi or my Helicat, but hopefully we get a stun here. Nope, but turn meter reduction was enough. Now if Helicat can just survive until he gets his next turn, we definitely win. Oh, okay, he definitely can. Yeah, the Wukong was definitely the correct champion to draft. We would have for sure lost if I went with Necret in this fight. And even this way it was super close, but we somehow was able to actually beat this team. He had a very hard team, never mind the empowerment, but just the champions alone is very hard. But he also had them very heavily empowered, which is crazy. But if the Rotos didn't survive the Harima triple hit earlier, then I would have probably lost the fight, or definitely lost it, and that was super close. Okay, let's manual it to the end so that the AI doesn't screw us up. I was kind of expecting us to win already, to be honest. would be kind of funny if we lose it now because we put it on auto. Okay. Surely the auto can't screw it up anymore. I do love my support Wukong. I mean, I like the nuke build as well, but Necret is my go-to save pick as the last support champion. But against the right setup, support Wukong can be super strong. It's such a game changer. Yeah, we're definitely doing very well today. We had kind of some hiccups in the middle, and maybe in the early fights. I think I only lost one fight early on, but I was kind of distracted because I was ranting and raving about new champions like the Bannerlord, Faction Lord, and the Fatalis discussion and so on. I feel like he's for sure gonna go for Rotos, so maybe we're just gonna open with Duchess and Necret. If he wants to go Rotos, then let him have it like we did in the one fight, and I guess we're gonna go with Xena and Quintus, and maybe we could even use Mikage in this fight if he goes with Rotos and Harima. Maybe that's a combination that I should use more that I haven't been using. Okay, he went for Harima, in Taras. I don't know if I want to use Xena against Taras unless I'm gonna ban it, so... maybe we will go with these, and we could still go with either Xena or Rotos as the last champion. If he doesn't pick Lockout or something like that, and I can ban the UDK, then I'm just gonna go for Rotos. But otherwise, I'm probably gonna go for Xena. I think there's a good chance he's gonna go for Rotos though. Okay. And we're gonna go with Xena, and maybe we're gonna actually ban Rotos. I think he's gonna ban the Xena, and I don't want to face the Rotos with Helicat, so we are actually gonna ban the Rotos. Oh, he banned the Helicat. That was actually the worst option for us, but I was not expecting him to do it. I would rather fight Taras with Helicat than Xena. Helicat versus Taras would have been completely winnable matchup for us. But I don't know if my Xena can really survive for very long here. I think it kind of depends on his gear, but either Xena is gonna die on the first Taras turn or the second Taras turn, but she can't really survive any longer than that. We have to open with the A2, yeah. Well, I guess we're at least kind of putting him in a checkmate again, that he can't do the Taras AoE nuke now because he didn't open with the Siphi turn meter boost. I guess he kind of overlooked it and didn't want to do the Siphi pass for Xena, but now he's kind of giving us some time, so I guess that's okay. Wait. Okay, let's just polymorph the UDK for now. Maybe we can kill him with the AoE nuke after the polymorph ends and reset the cooldown of the A3. Okay, so he's really avoiding of using the boss, so I guess we're gonna save our A3 as well and just go for A2, I mean A1. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it. If he does the turn meter boost now, it would have actually been very good timing for us. Yeah, he's just holding on to it and he doesn't want to use it. He's waiting for our Necret protection to end, and then he can kill us with Taras even without the buffs and the damage increase on the AoE nuke. Okay, I think this is a good timing. Surely we can kill UDK and Sifi at least, and that would be enough to reset the cooldown. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay, so we did win it. It was a little bit of we were both trying to outdo the other one and saving our cooldowns, but it worked out for me in the end. If I just use my A2 and A3 on the first 2 turns of the fights, I definitely would have lost it, but it was smart to save them and kind of force him to use his buffs before I go for the A3. Because, like I mentioned before, he gets the cooldown reset if he gets 2 or more kills, but also, of course, he gets more damage per buffs on the enemy team, so it's kind of essential for them to have buffs to hit hard. And if Xena doesn't get the streak that she's constantly resetting the cooldown with the A3 and getting a couple kills, then if she just dies once, you're gonna lose the fight. And she's very squishy, so anything can one-shot her unless she has like Necret protection or block damage up or something. And you're only gonna have those buffs for so long at the start of the fight, so you pretty much need to finish it as fast as possible. Okay, we're meeting Ukraine 2 again. Imagine that when they have the faction lord as well, everybody is gonna use it in live arena. It's gonna suck so much when we get the damn faction lord in the live arena, but I guess it's smart move from Plarium, so we can't it's not dumb for them to do it because they're of course gonna make money, but it's just annoying that the PvP is gonna be super frustrating. Okay, so he definitely doesn't want us to use Helicat. I don't know if I should do it anyway, but he already picked 2 nukers. Actually, maybe we're just gonna go with Tormin in this fight. Let's go with Mitra and Tormin. I don't know if that's gonna be good enough to win it, but we can give it a go. Mitra might be at least able to cleanse the CC from Mikage and so on, but we will see about this. Okay, who do I want to ban? I'm definitely gonna ban one of his snookers, but which one? Probably I'm not gonna ban the Mikage. Wait, he can ban the Tormin and then he's gonna ally attack Rotos. Maybe we are gonna ban the Mikage actually. Yeah. No, I should have just banned one of the nukers. That was a mistake of not banning Mikage. I mean, banning Mikage was a mistake. She could have gotten the entire team frozen with the ally attack anyway, and she banned the Rotos, so she wasn't even aiming to ban Tormin and one-shot Rotos. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, that's a good start. Never mind, I'm dumb. Both of them could have gotten frozen there, but neither one did, so it actually wasn't that great start. But if they did get frozen, which they could have, then it would have been good. But we still got the buffs up. Our Tormin was faster than his team, so it played out pretty well for us. And he's gonna constantly get frozen because of both Taras and Marichka, so that's why Tormin is considered a counter to both of them. Like, that skill could have frozen everybody. Taras A1 can freeze his team, and also the Marichka Kalenis can remove the freeze and then put another freeze on the team, so it's kind of funny. And she used the Kalenis now, so... Oh, she resisted. She could get petrified. I think we got another unlucky proc again. I'm pretty sure she doesn't have enough resistance to resist my Mitrola. It's more plausible that she has than those two nukers that resisted my Wukong earlier, but I'm kind of expecting that she actually doesn't have that much resistance. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have some damage issues if Tormin can actually finish off this fight, but we can take it slow and hopefully he doesn't have double reviver, so we just need one kill and then the puzzles are gonna fall to their place. How many polymorphs does he have? Only Harima is in polymorph and it's not a 6-star polymorph. Looks like we're gonna lose this fight. Our Tormin is not having enough damage to end it. Yeah, it's over. Anyway, we tried, but the damn Marichka is too tanky. We did very well. It was kind of disappointing to lose the last fight against kind of basic team, but we didn't do it. And I had like 4-day or maybe 5-day break from live arenas, so I was actually expecting to do a lot worse than I did. We had a bunch of more wins too that we don't even see here. I think I gained like 40 points today, which is a lot actually. Probably I will look at the video later and I will see what I try on the next video, and maybe I will pull something good on from the Hydra. Maybe I can go with Stone Skin Arix or something. We will see about that. Anyway, I was kind of getting heated at the start of the video about the Fatalis, but again, if you have any opinions, maybe you think I'm completely wrong about the Fatalis thing, then let me know in the comments. Explain to me, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Anyway, that's it for this video. See ya.